It is time to talk about the Disney Plus Marvel original series. So we have Hawkeye, Loki, Wandavision, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Is that what it's called? Welcome to a sort of comparison review video. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week, and then movie reviews here at the weekend. All of my movie reviews are spoiler free and I do love a bit of Marvel, so I will leave my Marvel movie reviews playlist linked up above. Always spoiler free in there, so you don't have to worry if you are thinking of watching something and want my opinion on it. No spoilers up above. Definitely. So let us talk the Marvel streaming series on Disney Plus. Everyone was very excited about a lot of these coming. Lots of people have told me to watch certain ones of these series and asked me if I've watched it yet. So I have finally watched all 4 of these series. I know we have other series on there to watch as well, but these are the 4 big ones, and I will be trying to make time to watch What If as well, because I think that sounds absolutely fantastic. I think that what Disney's doing is with the streaming is good. Like, I enjoy being able to have sort of original content in between movies as well, and I think that having come from the US to the UK, I like the fact that the Disney Plus in the UK has adopted a lot of the Hulu things from the US, so it's nice to be able to kind of catch up on some of those as well, even if they don't have the newest series of the Bold Type on there. But yes, streaming movies. I'm going to kind of compare and rank these, and I am going to give you sort of my reasons behind each one of these. So let's start with Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I keep wanting to say Captain America, Winter Soldier, or Winter Soldier and Falcon, or the Falcon. However, which way round it comes. So obviously this follows on from Avengers Endgame, just follows sort of right off the back of that one. And if you've seen Avengers Endgame, you will know how it ends with Falcon being given Captain America's shield. And so that's where we kind of open up. And it follows Falcon, Sam and Bucky, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, sort of on our post-Endgame adventures. Now, I would say that this one is my least favourite out of the 4, just because there are 6 episodes, and I feel like nothing really happens until episode 4. Sort of the end of episode 4, like things start to happen, but episodes 5 and 6 were excellent. I had to watch them back to back. I think I was going to watch episode 4 and not stop altogether, but like stop for the night. And then I was like, it ended on a cliffhanger. So then I had to watch episode 4, and then I was like, can't stop now. Episode 5 even. Can't stop now, I have to watch episode 6. So episode 5 and 6 were excellent, but I don't feel like an awful lot happened in episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4. I kind of switched off, was sort of doing other things, which is the danger with the streaming series. But episodes 5 and 6 were really good and felt like actual Marvel movies. And even the fact that episode 6 does have a sort of mid-end credits scene as well, that is obviously sort of moving the series on, or coming up with, you know, introducing another series or another series of that series. It's doing good things. I thought they were very exciting. I thought what they had to say was very good. But on the whole, if we're judging it as the 6 episode series as a whole, it was, you know, it left me wanting more, which I got in episodes 5 and 6, but it definitely did not always keep my attention. I also felt like the close-up CGI was very good. It was, Marvel movie quality CGI. However, the sort of far away CGI really wasn't that great. If a scene was very busy and there was lots of things happening, and then we had to have someone, you know, flying or being super strong, or like, you know, holding up the Brooklyn Bridge or something like that, then it just wasn't great, and I think that let it down a little bit. And then we had this sort of like, you know, Sam has his own storyline, Bucky has his own storyline, and then we have this rivalry storyline with the 2 of them. And I feel like they could have done more with each of those 3 things. And just, you know, just an extra couple of things here, an extra couple of things there, an extra bit of rivalry here, I think would have just elevated it. It just felt like it needed a little bit more. And that sort of came in episodes 5 and 6. But in terms of the rivalry and the will they come together to work together, will they not thing, still was a little bit lacking in episodes 5 and 6 even. I would have liked to have seen them working together a little bit more. They do, you know, as they said, they are guys who have had a common friend and have worked to a common end. There are a couple of sort of throwbacks to other things in the MCU. There are a couple of cameos from other characters from the MCU, and I thought that that was great, but again, I would have liked that a little bit more, which we do have in other series that I'm going to talk about. So if we're sort of going in reverse order here, unfortunately, I would say that the next one for me would be Loki. Now this one, I think, to have more than 6 episodes, it felt like it had more than 6 episodes anyway. This series wasn't bad, but for me, it was overhyped. Everybody was talking about it. Everybody was wearing the merch. Everybody was asking me if I'd seen it. Unlike most of the other series is. And I think that kind of spoiled it for me a little bit. Again, episode 1, I enjoyed. And then I got a bit bored with the rest of the episodes. And then by the time we got to the last episode, I was just trying to wait and see and find out what happens next. But I think for a series that had so much hype around it and so much like merch coming out for it and things like that, like I downloaded the episodes of this series to watch on my flight back to the UK. Didn't end up watching it, but I was, you know, so hyped for it that I was ready to download them, because the first couple of episodes came out while I was still in the US. The last couple of episodes came out when I got back to the UK. But again, a bit like Marvel films in general, or Disney films in general, I really wanted to watch these on a bigger screen, and so I tried to wait, so I wasn't watching them on my phone. And I've watched these on either a laptop or bigger, so either a laptop or an actual TV. Don't currently have an actual TV, so the last one of these will you know it's going to be on a laptop. But yeah, so I did end up watching all of Loki on a TV to try and get the best possible sort of CGI. And again, I had some issues with the CGI. It seemed fine when it was close up, but like those big scenes where you have a lot of stuff going on, there's maybe some fighting going on, there's maybe some, you know, magical things happening. I just didn't think that the CGI in that was great. And I think, yeah, as I say, the issue for me with Loki, I think, was it was overhyped. I had really high expectations. I was interested in seeing Loki outside of the world of Asgard and outside of, you know, Thor and what have you. And the fact that we had the scene in Avengers Endgame where they've gone back and we sort of see Loki do something a little bit different and it was a jumping off point. I like that part. And I knew that there was going to be a sort of like, you know, new bad guy introduced as well. I like that bit, but there was a lot to understand and a lot to take in and a lot of information, and I don't think it was done terribly well. I found moments where I was like, I didn't really understand what went on there, or asking a friend, what did that mean? And so yeah, that's why it kind of falls short for me. And then the two that I liked the best were definitely WandaVision and Hawkeye. I think the thing that pips Hawkeye to be the best for me, and my favourite out of the 4, is the fact that it's set at Christmas time and it's set in New York. So I really, really enjoyed WandaVision. I watched all of that on a big TV screen with some really good sound and some really good speakers, because I watched it all before moving from Denver and we had a good TV set up there. And I really loved the way we kind of like went through with the times, and we had this sitcom thing happening, and then what was all these mysteries happening. It's something that I definitely would rewatch. And Scarlet Witch as a character, I absolutely loved her anyway, and I loved that relationship between Wanda and Vision, and I really enjoyed where we sort of saw them in Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame, when they had their time together in Edinburgh, I really, really liked that, and I was really rooting for them. And so I enjoyed getting to see their relationship, and I enjoyed getting to see Wanda being as powerful as she could be. And I really, really loved the sitcom vibe of it. It's definitely something I recommend to people. It's definitely something that I don't regret having watched, and it's definitely something that I watched an episode and then was compelled to watch the next episode. I waited until all the episodes had come out to start watching it, and yeah, I really rated it. And again, I didn't really spot an awful lot of issue with the CGI in this one. I really enjoyed it, and I thought that because there was humour there as well, I think that's what did it for me, and that's what made it feel more like a Marvel movie as opposed to, oh, this is a spin-off that they haven't put as much money into, which I know they haven't, and that's fine. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. And as I say, the only reason that Hawkeye for me was slightly above WandaVision is because Hawkeye is set in New York and it's set at Christmas time, and I love both of these things. Again, I like Hawkeye as a character in terms of Avengers spin-offs. I like him as a character, and then the fact that we were introducing this sort of new Hawkeye character, Haley, is it Sittenfeld? I can never remember. I like her in most films that I've seen her in. Obviously, I was introduced to her in Pitch Perfect too. But yeah, I like what I've seen her in. I've seen her in True Grit as well. There's other things I've seen her in. But yeah, I like her on the screen, and I was looking forward to seeing how the sort of humour would work in this one. And again, the humour was there. The like sort of heartwarming nature of it was there as well. And we got to see like real relationships between real people, which again, WandaVision also had that. And I felt like that was lacking with Loki and with Falcon and the Winter Soldier, whereas the relationships and the humour and the heart were definitely there in both of these films. Then we have, the fact that it's set at Christmas time. There's Christmas music in this series. I know the last episode aired on, was it my birthday or was it Christmas Eve? And so it was released at Christmas time. And then there's this amazing mid-end credit scene at the end of the very final episode where we have like a Merry Christmas from Marvel little treat extra scene. And I thought that was fantastic as well. It was just such a great touch. I feel like it was so much more accessible. There wasn't so much to understand. It was quite simple. And I think that's what I enjoyed the most about it. I watched the first 2 episodes on a big TV, and I watched the next 4 or 3, was there 5 or 6 in this series, episodes on a laptop. And I wish that I could have had that like sound experience like you get in the cinema when you go and see a Marvel film. I think it would have been pertinent of them to like put on some screenings of the first couple of episodes or the last couple of episodes, because I think that it would have been really good to see on the big screen, especially with those kind of like flying over New York type of settings. And then we have a little bit of a really cool character cameo as well that I know that was talked about on social media, and then there was a bit of a drama around the fact that it shouldn't have been talked about on social media, so I'm not going to mention who, but there was a fabulous character cameo in the last 2 episodes basically, and I really enjoyed that character when they were in a film, and I really enjoyed the fact that that character had a cameo, and that that character was on screen with the Haley Sittenfeld character. I loved their interactions together. I thought that was absolutely fantastic. And I like the way it linked into the universe as well. I feel like the Loki spin-off and the Hawkeye, the Falcon Winter Soldier spin-off had less links. They were more like, okay, now we're separate and we're over here. Whereas this one I feel like tied into more recent Marvel films more effectively. So I would say for me it goes Falcon Winter Soldier, Loki, WandaVision, just pipped by Hawkeye. But WandaVision and Hawkeye I did enjoy an awful lot. And just sitting here talking about it now, I'm like, I could go and watch WandaVision again. That might be nice. But who has the time? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this slightly different movie review video. As I mentioned in previous movie reviews, I have had a little bit more time at home of the past recent days, and so I had time to finally finish watching my series, and that was great. So it meant that I could sit down and make this comparison video. As I say, I will leave my Marvel movie review playlist linked in the end screen as well, because I have reviewed and shared my thoughts on them with you, every single Marvel film that I have watched, and told you about the formats that I've watched them in. So it's definitely worth a browse through. I will be back with more movie content for you next week, so make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss out on that. If there are any particular movies you want to hear my thoughts on, please do let me know in comments. If you enjoyed this format, give it a thumbs up, and so that you do not miss out on my bookish content in the week, hit that notification bell to be notified as soon as I post new content. But yes, I will be back with more videos for you in the week, and I will see you with more movie reviews next weekend. Thanks for watching.